Happy Chick. Today we are going to make a mead. We're making a special mead. This is going to be a Cyser. So we are making an apple cider. Cyser. Oh, try to say that 3 times. Well, what a Cyser is an apple mead. They kind of break them down. It's a mead, but it's also a Cyser. So, in the United States, we call apple cider is just our apple juice, like unfiltered or kind of like a rough cider. Over in Europe, cider is the alcoholic beverage, but we're going to be making it in the United States, so it's alcohol, and so we call that a cider. But it's made with honey, so it's a Cyser. You'll see in a minute. I've got 2 different brands, unfortunately, so I'm going to combine the 2, and that way I get a more uniform juice. And I'm not quite sure how much honey I have in here. I'm hoping I have at least 2 pounds of honey, hoping for maybe 3, but we're going to find out. I'm going to weigh that before we put the juice in. That way I know how much we're starting off with here. And then of course we're going to do the specific gravity and put in yeast and then let this puppy go. So, with no further ado, or whatever the heck that's called, let's get some honey in our jug. Alrighty. Now, of course, I wish I had fresh local honey, but I don't have a source for it for the amount that I really need. I've got 2 brands here. One's probably a cheapola kind of honey, but it is honey. The other one is a raw honey, so I know it is good honey. It's just a little on the expensive side, and things are hard to find right now, so it is what it is that I've got. Alrighty, they have been sitting in some hot water, so hopefully they are a little bit on the runnier side. So let me put them on the scale. I've tared it out so that all we're doing is weighing the honey. So let's pour this in. Alrighty. Well, I'm slightly under 2 pounds, but that's okay. I'm pretty close. And then I'm going to rinse out these jugs as well in just a few minutes with the juice. We can always back sweeten if we need to. And I'm good with the amount that we've got. We're going to do a specific gravity later on, so that will tell me kind of where we're at. So let me go ahead and get this juice in the jug all mixed together as well. Alright, so you can tell that I do definitely have 2 different brands of the apple cider, but they're both 100% apple cider juice, no preservative whatsoever, just ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, and that's okay. So you could actually do this with just regular apple juice if you want to. You can even do the frozen apple juice as long as it has no preservatives, or actually any flavor that you want to. You could do a cherry Cyser. Well, not Cyser. It wouldn't be a Cyser then. Duh. You could use this actually for any juice. It just wouldn't be a Cyser anymore. Unless the majority of it was apple. Then it's still a Cyser. Alright. I'm just going to combine both bottles into my pitcher. That way they're homogenized, because they could have different flavor profiles, different sugar contents slightly, so I want to homogenize this. And check it out, because there might be something on the bottom, and there was. Make sure I got it all off. Okay, there's one bottle. Okay, let me pour some of the juice into these, this honey jug. That way I can get some of the honey out. Hopefully I don't spill this juice all over the place. That should be good. Okay. Alrighty. So I want to get a specific gravity of the juice first, just to kind of see how sweet it is. And then once I put the honey, it in with the honey, I'm going to do another specific gravity, just so that I know kind of how much sugar, kind of the starting point, so I can kind of keep track of everything. You don't really need to do this. I'm just kind of curious as to what the juice specific gravity is all by itself. Ooh. Okay. So the juice all by itself with no sugar added or anything, just poured out of the bucket, is 1.050. Good to know. So I'm going to pour that back, and then we are going to incorporate the honey with the juice. Now I loosened that up and I forgot. Dang it. Once again, splashing all over the place. Okay, so I have rinsed out the honey bucket and the jar here. So I'm going to go ahead and toss that in with the honey. I'm using the wide mouth one, and I forgot that I need to shake this up and hold the hole. All right, so let's shake this up and get the honey dissolved. All right, as you can tell, I moved to a different jug. The big ones, the big wide mouth ones, don't hold nearly as much. And so I still have quite a bit of juice left. So I wanted to make sure that, we're getting a nice amount. So I switched it to a regular demijohn. I know these hold a little bit more. Not quite a whole gallon, but it's about the same amount as what the honey was. So I'm not too worried about that. I probably should have stirred this up because there is some sediment down there, but I'm not going to worry about it. But let's go ahead and do a gravity reading now that we've got the honey. I don't know why I keep taking this thing out. Now that I have the honey in there, so let's do that. Ooh. Okay. So with the honey, I've got a specific gravity of 1 point. There's some bubbles. Let me try to get rid of that. 1.110. So we've got a specific gravity of 1.110. Not too shabby. All right. We are going to put in a half a package of Lalvin 71B. So that should give us about a 14% alcohol if it does produce up to what we're thinking of. So let me go ahead and just pour that in. Okay, just gonna go back in my crisper for another one. If you've noticed, I've been using 71B for quite a lot of these, and the reason is because I have quite a lot of bags of them. I also like how it turns out for majority of the meads and wines that I've made so far. So I'm kind of pleased with it. So, you know. All right. Let me get the airlock on. Okay. So this is all that we are doing for this. So we've got our apple cider juice in here. We've got almost 2 pounds of honey. And then the yeast. And so we're going to let this go for a while. Apple does have a tendency to need to take a little bit longer. So I think I'm going to leave this for at least a month before we check on it and see how she does. Other than that, I think that's it. So this is really an easy recipe to do, and so let's go ahead and see how it does. Spiced apple cider Cyser. Sounds good. It's a mouthful. Anyway, folks, thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to the next video. Y'all have a great day. Bye. Colors. Phew. Hot flash. Okay. I think I may have to take a break a second. Whew.